So, Havoc Squad. The best of the best. Can't say I'm thrilled about the demotion, but it's an honor to be here, sir.
I realize the circumstances weren't ideal, but I'm glad you're with us, Jorgen.
A spot in Havoc was the least they could do. 4 years at the academy, 7 years in the field, decorations, commendations. Would have made captain soon if command hadn't hung me out to dry.
We both know Tavis's defection wasn't your fault.
Tell that to the brass when they need a scapegoat. But hey, water under the bridge. Command put me in Havoc to help you find Tavis, and I intend to do just that. I've hunted Imperials from one side of the galaxy to the next. Used to command the Deadeyes, finest sniper squad in the Republic.
I'm not familiar with that outfit.
No? Maybe I'll tell you about them sometime. I reviewed your service record before that ZR-57 op. Been meaning to discuss it with you. You made quite an impression at the Academy. Accelerated training programs, instructor recommendations. Graduated top of your class. Heck of a transcript. But a classroom's no substitute for field experience.
You saw how I handled things on Ord Mantell. I know what I'm doing.
Taking on that SEP army single-handedly showed guts, not leadership. When I signed on with the Deadeyes, my CO was Lieutenant Vorn. Certified war hero, as decorated as they come. When he gave an order, we trusted it, followed it to the letter. A squad needs that kind of commitment to operate effectively.
You're saying you don't trust me?
I'm saying trust requires more than a slick new promotion. Havoc Squad is the Republic's most elite outfit. We tackle the missions no one else can handle. Traitor or no, Tavis is a tough act to follow. You think you're up to it?
My record speaks for itself.
I'll admit, you've seen and done more than most soldiers your age. You've got confidence and plenty of raw talent. Maybe you'll pull this off. So, that 4X is interesting. Eager but won't shut up. Kept going on about his superior Republic engineering. Finally called him on it. Ran a weapons diagnostic. Loudmouth's packing some serious ordnance. Guess Havoc is finally shaping into a real squad.
You haven't seen anything yet.
Just remember, people's expectations of us, of you, are only gonna get bigger. That CO post could get real heavy real quick.
Someone needs to run Havoc Squad.
Commanding a squad is no cakewalk. Nothing worse than having to choose between the success of the mission and the lives of your men. That said, a leader can't be soft on his troops. Coddling your men will only get them killed.
You've got a point. I'll keep it in mind.
I'm sure you'll do fine. You've gotten us this far. Inventory report, sir. Food and medical supplies all look good, but our munitions are getting low. Thought we'd have enough to last us a year. Already requisitioned command for more. Guess I shouldn't be too surprised. See more action in one day with Havoc than you see in a month with the Deadeyes.
What kind of work did you do for the Deadeyes?
We mainly ran decapitation strikes. Neutralized enemy commanders before a Republic offensive. Left the opposition leaderless, disorganized. Sometimes, we'd camp outside the enemy's base for weeks, waiting for a clear shot. Eventually, we'd hit our target, pull out, let the ground pounders mop up.
You must have chalked up quite a kill count.
Over 24 confirmed. Eventually, I was offered a promotion and a post on Ord Mantell. I took it. Smart move career-wise. More men, more responsibility. But I wasn't interested in fighting separatists.
Must have been an awkward transition.
One day I'm picking off Imperial brass, the next I'm pacifying mobs of angry seps. After my transfer, command of the Deadeyes fell to my XO, Torv. Smart kid, a little green, but the potential was there.
You weren't sure I was fit to lead, and look how I turned out.
Point taken, sir. Come to think of it, I haven't been in contact with the Deadeyes for a while. I should find out where they're stationed, catch up. Sir, you should know. General Vander contacted me. Said he'd talk it over with the brass and finagled a way to get me back on Ord Mantell. Offered me my old post, a promotion and command of their operations there. Pretty sweet deal overall.
I hope you turned him down. You're a part of Havoc Squad now.
You think I'd head back to some backwater planet like Ord Mantell? Fact is, I've been hitting the Empire harder than ever since I joined Havoc Squad. I didn't enlist to win medals or promotions. I enlisted to protect the Republic, to prove my people have a place here.
The Cathar will always have a place in the Republic.
I hope so.
We already lost one home to the Mandalorians. I'm not about to let the Empire take another.
Bad news, sir. I just received a dispatch from Command. It's my old sniper squad, the Deadeyes. They've been captured. Happened during a routine officer hunt. Somehow the imps got the drop on them and rounded up the entire unit. Careless.
Would it kill you to show a little sympathy?
Sorry, sir. Hugs all around next time I see them. Look, something about this doesn't sit right with me. The Deadeyes' area of operation was on Nar Shaddaa. That's Hutt territory. Neutral ground. They shouldn't have had any business operating there.
You think there's more going on here?
Can't say yet. I need to know what happened to the Deadeyes, and if they're still alive. Missions on Nar Shaddaa are usually greenlit by the SIS. With your permission, I'd like to meet with them, see what they know.
Get a hold of Jonas Balker. He may be able to help us.
Your call. We'll rendezvous at the dive he hangs out in. With any luck, he'll have something for us.
You're early. Haven't even had time to order us up a round. So, how's that 4X unit treating you? Racking up plenty of kills, I hope.
The Deadeyes. Valker, what do you know?
He's right. We didn't come for small talk.
Fair enough. I dug up what info I could, but frankly, there isn't much to report. Far as I can tell, the Deadeyes tried to off some Imperial big shot. Things went south, and they got themselves captured.
What's the Republic doing to get the Deadeyes back?
Unfortunately, nothing. We're on the verge of an incident. The Imperials are out for blood, so the Republic is distancing itself from the operation. I shouldn't even be talking to you about all this. Those boys are on their own.
These are Republic soldiers, sir. Good men. All of them.
If the Republic won't do anything, then Havoc Squad will.
Look, I know this stinks, but my hands are tied on this one. I've got major players breathing down my neck. Otherwise, I'd tell you to investigate that prison the Imperials set up in Shadowtown.
Now we're getting somewhere.
You didn't hear this from me. Now, rumor has it, and I'm just talking here, that the Imperials built themselves a makeshift prison not too far from here. That's where they dump any local riffraff that get out of line. Could be they took the Deadeyes there.
Thanks for the tip, Balker.
I'm just making conversation. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got an alibi to work on. Remember, this meeting never happened.
No sign of them here. Balker must have sent us on a wild... Wait. I may have something. It's an outgoing holo message. Recent.
This is Captain Titch, confirming the details for outgoing prisoner transfer 993B. We've got 3 Gamorrean trespassers, a couple of spice peddlers, and our catch of the day, the legendary Deadeyes.
Looks like the Imperials already moved them.
Question is, where?
As per protocol, we've split the Deadeyes up and transferred them to off-world labor camps. I've encrypted the coordinates for their designated camps into this transmission. Those scum can spend their remaining years working off their debt.
Message ends there. Guess the imps don't make things quick for their POWs. Lucky us.
That doesn't mean we have time to waste.
Agreed. I'll download those coordinates ASAP. The encryption here is good. Too good. I can't crack it. Looks like we may need Balker's services again.
The Hollow with a very angry Imperial diplomat. Apparently, some Republic troopers broke into the Imperial Detention Center.
Hey, I just went to Hari's for a drink. They got a new waitress there. Real looker.
Don't get cute with me, Balker. You know something.
That breach was a Havoc Squad op. Balker had nothing to do with it.
Nice of you to save me the trouble of hunting you down. Senior Agent Zane, SIS. That little stunt you pulled ruined any chance we had of negotiating the Deadeye's safe return.
Check your facts, Zane. The Imperials already shipped them off-world.
It's Senior Agent Zane, thank you. And storming an Imperial facility, guns blazing, it makes things worse. Your involvement ends now. Clear?
As clear as a hut of swamp on a foggy night.
Don't test me. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got an Imperial ambassador to mollify. I trust you'll see yourselves off my planet.
What were you thinking coming back here? I told you I couldn't be connected to any of this.
We found some encrypted coordinates in the prison central computer. We think they'll tell us where the Deadeyes are.
We were going to see if you could help us, but after that outburst...
Yeah, I'd rather keep my job, thanks. Look, a friend in Signal Intelligence owes me a favor. I'll put you in contact with him. He may be able to make something of those coordinates. It's the best I can do.
We couldn't have done this without Balker. I think you owe him your thanks.
Fine. Balker. Thanks.
Hey, anything for you, Jorgen.
I'll connect with Balker's contact once we get back to the ship. I'll report if I hear anything.
Got a problem, sir. Weapons malfunction. I had a couple of misfires during that prison run. I think the barrel might be out of whack. Not surprising given all the action we've seen. With your permission, I'd like to inspect the rest of the squad's ordnance, make sure everything's up to code.
Way to think ahead, Jorgen.
That's what I do. When you're sniping enemies from 800 meters, any imperfection in the blaster can ruin your shot.
You hit targets from that far? You're good.
Part of the job, sir. Sir, I'm not very good at this, but thank you for the exospot. My career took a big hit when Tavis defected. I wasn't sure I'd ever recover.
You've proven yourself plenty of times on the field, Jorgen. You earned that promotion.
Thank you, sir. I'll make sure Havoc stays the top squad in the Republic. You can count on it. Well, the search is officially underway. I transmitted those coordinates we picked up to Balkar's contact in Sigint. Won't be long before we find out where the Deadeyes are. Well, look at that. That you, Gav?
You know, you really ought to start encrypting your communications. Finding your frequency was child's play.
You're crossing the line, Zane. Stay out of our business.
I was about to say the same to you. I'll just leave you with a friendly suggestion. Walk away.
That smug. Why is he so interested in the Deadeyes? In any case, he knows about Balkar's contact at Sigint. We'll have to find someone else to decrypt those coordinates.
I'd like to see Zane outmaneuver General Garza.
Now you're talking. I'll bring the General up now.
This is General Garza. What can I do for you, Havoc?
We've got a problem, General.
I don't like you going off mission, Major. Then again, I don't like SIS snoops meddling in military affairs either. Send me the coordinates. I'll get our people working on them right away. Just don't let this interfere with your mission.
We won't forget this, General.
I'll let you know if we learn anything. Garza out.
There. If Zane manages to one-up Garza, I'll eat my rifle. Still no word on the Deadeye's location. I checked with Garza, but she hasn't had any luck decrypting those coordinates Still no word on the Deadeye's location. I checked with Garza, but she hasn't had any luck decrypting those coordinates we sent her. This is taking too long. For all we know, the Imperials have relocated the Deadeyes. That intel could be obsolete.
We can still pick up a new trail if we follow those coordinates.
I suppose you're right. I'll keep monitoring the holo. Maybe something will turn up. Good news, sir. Garza's people decoded the first portion of those coordinates. Data points to an Imperial excavation site on Tatooine. Looks like my former XO Torv is being held there.
Then let's load up and get them out of there.
Ready when you are, sir. On your feet, soldiers.
Lieutenant Jorgen? What are you doing here?
It's Captain now, and I'm getting you out of here.
Thought we'd have been out of here weeks ago. Who's this?
I'm the commander of Havoc Squad.
Havoc Squad? It's an honor, sir.
Okay, enough boot kissing. I want answers, Torv. For starters, how'd you get yourselves captured?
It's all there in our mission outline. Didn't Zane brief you?
Zane? As in Senior Agent Zane? Man's been nothing but trouble for us.
So he didn't... Oh. Then I'm afraid I can't say anything more. SIS orders.
We just saved your life. Now start talking.
But we... Okay, look, we let ourselves get caught. Part of some top-secret SIS op. They implanted tracking devices in us. Plan was to follow us through Imperial space, find out where the imps ship their POWs, and then come rescue us.
Looks like someone forgot to follow through with that last part.
Nobody anticipated the imps would split us up, send us to labor details. Surprised the SIS didn't spring us then.
Typical SIS. Should have known better than to trust those spooks.
Too good an opportunity. You know how many troops we have in those camps.
What if the Imperials had executed you?
Things wouldn't have been so bad if the SIS had held up their end of the plan.
Got that right. A good soldier never leaves a man behind. We'll have it out with the SIS later. For now, just sit tight. I'll call for an evac, get you boys home. Well, they're off. The SIS better have a good reason for leaving those men behind.
It's not like we have any say in the SIS's operations.
We do when they start getting our people killed or captured. Anyway, we've done all we can for now. I'll see about getting the rest of those coordinates decrypted.
I ever tell you about the time we were ordered to take out Moff Dallam? Dangerous mark. Wiley is that... Hang on. Incoming transmission. Care to guess who it is?
Major, Senior Agent Zane here. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear earlier. Or perhaps you thought an unauthorized rescue mission wouldn't constitute as interfering?
Can it, Zane? Torv told us all about your involvement in the Deadeye's capture.
Considering how incredibly classified that information was, I do hope you had to torture Lieutenant Torv. I understand your concern for your comrades, but you morons are only complicating things.
You're addressing the commander of Havoc Squad, Zane. You will show him the proper respect.
Apologies, but this is a delicate operation and your continued involvement will only jeopardize its completion.
You can expect a lot more interference from us in the future.
Then you can expect far worse than holocalls.
Your operation's falling apart, Zane. Now either rescue the Deadeyes yourself, or get out of the way.
I don't take orders from grunts. This mission is over when I say it is.
I've had it with this guy. Permission to cut him off, sir.
Permission granted.
Good riddance. I can't tell if he really dropped the ball on this one or if he's still just lying to us. Either way, the SIS had their chance. Time for Havoc Squad to get the job done right. I may have been wrong about you. Takes a lot to lead a squad like Havoc. Wasn't convinced you had it in you. Thought you were inexperienced, untested. But you've got good instincts. Turned out to be a first-class leader.
That means a lot coming from you, Jorgen.
I just call it like I see it. I'll admit, that business on Ord Mantell still irks me. But it landed me in the most elite squad in the Republic, under one of the finest commanders I've served with. So I can't complain too much. Just got off the holo with Torv. He asked me to thank you for getting him out of that labor camp. He's starting to see the danger the other Deadeyes are in. Anxious for us to find them.
We could use him when we rescue the rest of the Deadeyes.
SIS already has him tied up in debriefs. Pretty much exchanged one cell for another. It was a mistake to trust a snake like Zane, but Torv's heart was in the right place. I just hope this mistake doesn't get any of those men killed. Outstanding news, sir. We've got a positive fix on the Deadeye's location. Garza's people just finished decrypting the coordinates we sent them. The data points to an Imperial outpost on Hoth. Another labor camp, most likely.
First Tatooine, now Hoth. The Imperials must really have it out for the Deadeyes.
Picking off a few dozen Imperial officers will do that. Once we get those men out of there, we can put all this craziness behind us. I just hope we're not too late. Barracks, Hal, you two still breathing?
More or less. Didn't expect to see you here, sir.
Nor I. Care to tell me what you two are doing here?
What are you doing here?
My job. Don't you get it? This operation was never about rescuing POWs. We've been after one thing, Dusk 9.
Impossible. That place is just a myth.
Is it? We'll never know now, thanks to you two.
I must be missing something. What's Dusk 9?
It's nothing. Just a spook story the Imperials concocted to scare us.
Next to the Emperor's location, Dusk 9 is the Empire's best-kept secret. Hundreds of Black Ops projects are born there.
It's also a prison, according to the rumors. The things that supposedly go on there, too horrible to be real.
We're more interested in the intel hoarded there. We seeded thousands of bugged soldiers into the Imperial penal system, hoping for a bite.
Why so many soldiers?
To improve our odds, naturally. The more soldiers we seed, the better our chances of someone winding up at Dusk 9. We were using the wrong bait. The brass at Dusk 9 weren't interested in common soldiers. But how could they resist an SIS agent? So, I bugged myself, staged a bogus rescue operation, and let myself be captured. I was awaiting transfer when you two geniuses showed up.
If you had kept us in the loop, we could have coordinated this better.
And what? Hope you wouldn't say anything? Now, I have no choice but to abort my mission and try again somewhere else.
Sir, we can deal with Zane later. Let's just find the rest of the squad and get out of here.
Jorgen, sir, they're dead. The cold, they didn't make it.
What? Trace? Copland? They're gone? But I thought... Zane.
Now you've done it.
What? It's not my fault they weren't properly insulated.
You killed them. You promised them a rescue that never came, and now they're dead for it.
How many other soldiers have died for you? Huh? 100? 1,000?
You can't kill me, Jorgen. Too many witnesses.
Far as we're concerned, sir, the Imperials killed him.
What? Wait, you can't just... Major, do something!
He's all yours, Jorgen.
No!
That's for Copland and Trace. Good men. Brave men.
I'm sure he had that coming for a long time.
Wouldn't surprise me.
You're sure you two won't tell anyone about this?
Absolutely, sir.
Let's get you two back to your squad. They'll want to know you're okay. I'll call for an evac. They're off, sir. Mission accomplished.
You doing all right?
Honestly, I'd rather not talk about it right now, sir. Let's just get out of here. Sir, about what happened earlier. Zane got what was coming to him. But I shouldn't have been the one pulling the trigger. Killing an unarmed man, a Republic agent no less. That goes against everything I've been raised to do. Everything I've been trained to do.
You did what had to be done.
If killing Zane saves even a few Republic soldiers, I'll accept that burden. But that doesn't make it right. Honestly, it's not even Zane's death that's bothering me. It's everything. The Deadeyes, the operation, and the Republic's part in all this. You heard Zane. Thousands of soldiers, all being fed to the Empire to find a place that may not even exist. It isn't right.
The Republic sees us as expendable.
We're stats to the brass. Numbers to throw at the Empire for the Republic's convenience. I'd have been proud to die for the Republic before, but after this...
The actions of one man don't reflect the actions of the Republic as a whole.
Zane may have just been one man, but there are plenty of others like him calling the shots for us. Won't ever trust command again, but I'll keep fighting. Because the Republic is more than the bureaucrats running it. It's the billions of people who can't fend for themselves, who are counting on us to defend them. I'll fight for them. And for you, sir. Whatever happens, just know that I'll always have your back, sir. I'm a Havoc man to the end. You can count on me to train any recruits we might get. Give me a couple days, I can show any rookie how to handle a rifle properly.
Sir, my equipment and personal effects have been stowed in full accordance with Transport Code Section 2. If I may say so again, sir, it is truly an honor to be selected for Havoc Squad.
I'm glad to have you on the team, Dorn.
Thank you very much, sir. I intend to begin reviewing and memorizing all relevant dossiers and intelligence reports on our assignment immediately. If I discover any points of confusion or areas where I believe I can contribute, I'll submit a full 587B report.
Sure, the old 587B. Sounds good, Dorn.
Thank you, sir. I'll get on with my review. Excuse me, sir. May I have a moment of your time?
What can I do for you, Dorn?
As a condition of my service in the Republic military, Personnel Division requires that I report regularly on my activities. However, my Havoc Squad missions are classified and cannot be shared with Personnel Division. I'd like to ask if you would vouch for me when I report in.
I'll be happy to help.
Thank you very much, sir. We should use the ship's secure line. Captain Kaylor, this is Alara Dawn, personnel number 22795, reporting in per Regulation 449.
Please, Alara, you don't have to give me the full rundown every time. I know who you are. How are things?
Well enough, sir. Allow me to introduce you to the commander of Havoc Squad, my new CO. Sir, this is Captain Kaylor, Army Personnel Division.
I don't see that Dorn's loyalty needs to be proven further.
Oh, we're all very proud of Alara. This is just part of the process. Tell me about being in the top squad in the Republic, Alara. You must be keeping very busy.
I'm sorry, Captain, but you aren't authorized to know about Havoc Squad's activities. My CO will have to vouch for me from now on.
What? Alara, I don't want to be a hard case, but rules are rules. This top-secret junk won't fly.
Don't try to push us, desk jockey. It won't end well.
Are you insane? You're actually threatening me? Just carry on, Alara. We'll talk about this after I've had a word with my superiors. Kaylor out.
I wasn't expecting him to react so strongly. Surely he didn't expect me to report on classified information.
Do you think Kaylor will actually get the clearance he needs?
I really don't know. If you'll excuse me, sir, I have several matters to attend to. Thank you for your time. Sir, I feel I owe you an apology. After we spoke with Captain Kaylor, I was unnecessarily curt with you. You've been very supportive. That hasn't always been the case with Republic personnel I've dealt with since defecting.
It must be hard to work with people who don't trust you.
I expected some degree of reservation, but nothing like what I've actually encountered. People distrust me as soon as I speak. They only hear my accent. Even when I'm not a potential spy, I'm a resource. Endless questions about Imperial culture, personnel, military procedures. It's exhausting.
You're a good soldier, Dorn. Don't worry about what other people expect.
Thank you, sir. I really don't complain by nature. Mistrust and inconvenience are a small price to pay for a clear conscience. I don't regret defecting to the Republic at all. Despite my past, I was allowed to join the military, earn commendations and serve in the Republic's most elite squad. I'm very fortunate.
What led you to defect in the first place?
We should talk about it later, sir. I've occupied enough of your time. Sir, I wondered if I might ask a personal question about the former Havoc Squad member's defection. What was it like to have your commander and comrades join the enemy? How did you feel?
I was shocked. I never saw it coming.
Tavis and the others must have been hiding their plans very carefully. I've always wondered how my family took the news of my defection. It must have been difficult for them to understand.
What was your family like?
Austere. Proud. Warm as well, at least in private. Members of the Dawn family have served with distinction in the Imperial military for generations. It's an important family tradition. It isn't easy to reach prominence in the Empire with no aptitude for the Force, but my family did it. I hope they're all still well.
Your family got by before you came along. They'll be all right.
You're probably right, sir. If I may say so, sir, you've had quite an impressive career. You're the commander of the most elite squad in the entire Republic. You must be quite proud.
Serving in Havoc Squad has been the greatest honor of my career.
I remember when I first enlisted and qualified for medical specialization. My brother Alexei completed his technical specialization on the same day. We were both proud to finally serve in the Imperial military. My brother advanced quickly, but I became disillusioned as time went on.
Why did you become disillusioned?
The Imperial military was supposed to stand for honor and discipline, but my superiors discarded those concepts any time a Sith asked it. I'd always been taught that the Jedi and the Republic were genocidal hypocrites, but the only brutalities I witnessed were committed by my own comrades.
How can anyone believe such obvious lies?
Given the right point of view, anything can be rationalized. I'm just glad I could see things for how they really were. I raised my concerns with my superiors, but they only questioned my resolve. Soon, I would have been forced to prove my loyalty by carrying out orders directly against my conscience. I chose to defect instead.
Did you have any trouble getting away from the rest of your unit?
I had noted numerous inefficiencies in our assigned patrol routes. I simply took advantage of one of them to escape. I surrendered to the first Republic patrol I came across and declared my intention to defect. That was over 3 years ago. It's strange to realize how long it's been. The Republic truly feels like my home now. Sir, I need to speak to you immediately. I've received a strange holomessage that appears to bear Imperial signal codes. I haven't watched it yet. I wanted you present to supervise and confirm that I'm not engaged in secret communications with Imperial personnel.
That's silly. You could have watched the thing first.
Someone in my position can never be too cautious. Let's see now.
Hey, Lara, it's me, Alexei. I hope you're well. It's been a long time.
Alexei? Sir, this message is from my brother. I don't know what to say.
I know this must be hard for you.
It's more surprising than anything. I honestly never thought I'd see his face again.
I'm sorry to contact you like this, but I need your help. My men and I, we're as good as dead. We're on Nar Shaddaa. We were caught tampering with one of the Hutt's operations. We never dreamed the slugs would have so much security. These Hutts are Imperial allies, Alara. There is no rescue team. We'll be disavowed and left to die. Please. You're my only hope now.
Get your brother out of there, Alara. You've got my leave.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your willingness to help, given the circumstances. I believe I can bring him to our side. I know my brother better than anyone. I can convince him to defect. Perhaps it's best if I see to this matter alone, sir. Alexei will be much easier to convince if he doesn't feel outnumbered.
If you can bring him in willingly, then all the better.
Coordinates are included at the end of the message. I'll prep my gear for search and rescue. The operation was a complete success, sir. Per Code 23 of the Enemy Interaction Guidelines, Alexei officially defected to the Galactic Republic. Given the circumstances, we didn't have much time to catch up, but I have my brother back. Thank you for allowing me to help him.
I'm happy to hear that everything worked out.
Hopefully Personnel Division will allow me to stay in contact with Alexei. Not privately, of course, and help guide him through the defection process. I should start compiling notes for him. Thanks again, sir. Sir, I'm sorry to bother you, but I've received a troubling message from Captain Kaylor, my supervisory officer from Personnel Division. He ordered me to contact him immediately. I hoped you could join me for the conversation.
I'd be glad to.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll raise him on the holo now. Captain Kaylor, this is Alara Dawn, personnel number 22795, reporting in per your request.
Always the whole mess, every time. Anyway, yes, thank you for returning my call, Alara. It's about this whole situation with your brother. You did a great job, obviously, but people are starting to think you have more information than you're sharing.
If Alara has any more intel for you, she'll share it.
Alara, if you have information you'd like to share, I think this would be a good time for you to come in.
I appreciate the offer, but I have no further information of value to you.
Suit yourself. I have work to do. Kaylor out.
He's still demanding more. After everything I've done, what do I have to do to prove myself?
You're a good soldier, Alara. You've got nothing to prove.
Thank you, sir. But I think it's clear that some people don't feel the same way. Let's just get back to work. I'd rather focus on something else for a while. Sir, I need your approval to requisition some supplies for my medical kit. I've categorized the items by relative priority. Everything fits within our allotment under Supply Code 18, but items near the bottom of the list can wait if necessary.
What kind of supplies are we talking about?
Just restocking basic supplies. We're fortunate to be serving in Special Forces. We get priority when requesting supplies like these. I've heard that regular army units must now wait several weeks to receive high-demand items. Increased hostilities are taking their toll.
It's probably going to get worse before it gets better.
That does seem to be the path we're on. Hopefully our actions can at least stem the tide. I'd best get this finished, sir. Thank you for your time. I'm still quite concerned about Captain Kaylor and his accusations, sir. If Personnel Division thinks I'm withholding information about the Empire, they can continue hounding me under Security Regulation 15. I think if men like Kaylor had their way, I'd be locked in a room reciting the minutiae of Imperial culture until the end of time.
You'll get a lot more done in the field.
I couldn't agree more. I do sometimes wonder if I'm being unfair, though. I'm one of the only people in the Republic with extensive knowledge of Imperial culture. Perhaps I have a responsibility to do what few others can, even if it's not what I'd like to be doing.
You shouldn't be forced to do anything.
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. I appreciate you taking the time to discuss this with me, sir. I'll leave you to your other duties. I'm afraid I have another requisition form that requires your attention, sir. Our shipboard rations have fallen somewhat below the levels outlined in Code 18, and the Quartermaster Corps restocking estimate is currently 9 weeks. As an alternative, I'd like to supplement our food stores with products from public sources. Real food, as Jorgen would say, but commanding officer approval is required.
If we could have been having real food this whole time, why haven't we?
In the past, restocking through official channels was the simpler option, but demand is much higher now. I'll have us back to standard stock levels in no time. Thank you for your time, sir. Sir, I have excellent news. I've secured permission for us to use Form 859RA for our after-action reports, instead of the older 859R.
Well, that's definitely really exciting, Alara.
A 1/6 reduction in form completion time. This should result in a cumulative time savings of more than 90 minutes within 4 weeks. It should be quite pleasant. We've been through quite a bit, haven't we, sir? Since I joined Havoc Squad, I've seen more combat and performed more medical treatments than in my entire career beforehand. I've learned a great deal.
I'm glad you're getting some good experience here.
First-hand experience is always the best. I couldn't be prouder to be a part of Havoc Squad. I'm serving the Republic and becoming a better soldier and medic every day. And I have you to thank for it all. Most officers would never have given me this chance, but you did. Thank you.
You earned it, Alara. Nothing more to be said.
Oh, there can be quite a distance from earning something to receiving it. I owe you my gratitude. Enough talk. Let's put some of this experience to work, shall we? Sir, there is a very important matter that requires your immediate attention. Kazi Brandy, aged 30 years. One of the few personal effects I brought with me when I defected. I waged a veritable war to have it returned once my legal status was established. It's all but impossible to find in Republic space. I want you to have it.
I can't accept this, Alara. It's too generous.
Personnel guidelines state that gifts priced at less than 200 credits are perfectly acceptable. I purchased this bottle for the equivalent of 85 Republic credits. You've been a fine commander and a very good friend to me. A token of appreciation seemed quite overdue. Don't hesitate to share if you should decide to open it. Sir, I was wondering if you've received any messages from Captain Kaylor recently. I've not heard anything since the situation with Raidu. I'm a bit concerned, to be honest.
The less we hear from Kaylor, the better.
It's been nice to take my mind off his accusations, but I doubt he's given up yet. I attempted to contact him for my standard activity report, but I was told that he's out of the office on an important assignment. I can't help but wonder if I'm a part of that assignment. I don't look forward to finding out.
Whatever Kaylor does, we'll deal with it.
We have enough to deal with as it is. I shouldn't be thinking about problems that may not exist. Sorry to trouble you, sir. Let's just get back to work. Sir, I was just going over a research article I've been writing for the Armed Forces Medical Science Journal. I'm a bit nervous about it, actually. I've never had an article published in the journal. It's quite prestigious.
What exactly did you write about?
A simplified step-by-step process for rapidly assessing wounds and treatment options in combat situations. Just something I've developed during our various operations. I may not hear back for some time. There's quite a bit of writing in the medical field at the moment. One of the side effects of wartime. I'll just have to wait and see. Sir, I'm afraid I need to request a brief leave of absence. It's Kaylor. He's attempting to exploit a loophole in Investigative Appeals Process subsection 4 in order to reopen his inquiry without new cause.
I think it's time to introduce that scumbag to the roomier end of an airlock.
That won't be necessary. I'm not going to give Kaylor the time to carry his supposed investigation any further. I'm going to Coruscant. I have every message, every report, every call recorded. It's time to demonstrate to Kaylor's superiors exactly what his supposed service to the Republic has accomplished.
I'll come with you. With my word backing you up, you can't fail.
You're very kind to offer, sir, but I need to handle this myself. Bringing a war hero along would seem like a diversionary tactic. I'll return as quickly as possible. Sir, I am ordered to report that I, Alara Dawn, personnel number 22795, am no longer classified as a person of concern. The Personnel Division of the Army of the Galactic Republic has declared that I am to be treated as a fully protected legal citizen, effective immediately.
You beat him, Alara. You're free.
That I am, sir. Kaylor never saw it coming. When I exercised my right under Service Code 1 to an immediate personnel hearing, he was literally speechless. I demonstrated documentation for every moment of his pointless investigation. Once the man-hours and expenditures were totaled, it came to thousands of credits wasted in wartime.
That kind of waste at a time like this is treason in my book.
Military law does stipulate that charges of treason can be drawn for systematic misuse of resources. Kaylor's final tally didn't quite cross that threshold, however. I still can't believe this day has finally come. The suspicion, the reservations, the endless questions. They've been a part of my life for so long. But no more. I am a citizen of the Galactic Republic.
It's great to see this happening for you.
Thank you so much. I've never felt prouder to be serving the Republic. Let's return to the front lines. I want to go back to doing my part.
Time to get this ship moving.
I'll prepare my equipment, sir. Sir, the Journal published my article. I've already received dozens of holo messages from medical officers and units across the galaxy. I never expected such a positive reaction.
That's fantastic news, Alara. You should feel very proud.
I would never have learned so much if you hadn't brought me onto the squad. I really owe you a tremendous debt, sir. Thank you. Truly. Tell me, sir, do you think you'll have children someday? I can only imagine the young soldiers and commanders you would raise. Future defenders of the Republic, one and all.
The idea of kids hadn't crossed my mind.
No? You would be an excellent father. I could even tutor them for you. Medicine, biology, Republic and military legal terminology.
What if they don't become soldiers, or doctors, or lawyers?
Well, whatever they choose to do in life, I'll be glad to do whatever I can to help them. Anyway, We have plenty of work to do in the here and now. Let's get to it.
It is a tremendous pleasure to be here aboard your ship. And what a ship it is. A BT-7, if I'm not mistaken. One of the Pollard designs. A very fine vessel, appropriate for the Republic's best. We will ride this Durasteel Eagle into the heart of the Empire, and bring our fight for freedom to the door of the Emperor himself.
You'll make a great addition to Havoc.
I'm proud to know that you feel that way. I have loaded all pertinent data. Let us proceed with our noble duty. Reiterate my pleasure at serving in your command. Since my verbobrain was first activated, I have longed to engage the enemies of freedom directly. Under your noble leadership, I can finally fulfill the mission the Republic's fearless scientists designed me for.
It's good that you're so enthusiastic about our mission.
I can't take all of the credit for my enthusiasm, of course. I owe everything to my primary designer, Dr. Boab Deedon. Thanks to Dr. Deedon, I can understand the importance of our fight, and the extent of the threats we face, and I can fight harder for it.
Could you introduce me to Dr. Deedon sometime?
I would be happy to do so, but Dr. Deedon's lab is highly classified. Even I don't know its actual location. If an opportunity to meet him ever comes, you will be the first person I inform, sir. It is an amazing thing to know that you are exceptional, sir. I'm sure you know the feeling, given your incredible service record. My programming, my weaponry, my armor, all state-of-the-art, and my power core, a true marvel. Other droids may look like me or have some of my capabilities, but none of them have my power core. I'm very proud to be so unique.
The differences among us are what give the Republic its strength.
Exactly, sir. Billions of unique individuals coming together to contribute to the greater good. Oh, it's truly inspiring. I see Havoc Squad in much the same way. We are set apart from other infantry teams by one thing. You. Thanks to your wise and courageous leadership, Havoc Squad is the finest military unit in the Republic. You are what makes Havoc special.
I'm just another soldier, nothing more.
The soldiers of the Republic are all very impressive, but surely none of them can compare with you. Let's return to the fight, sir. It's already been too long since I saw Imperial soldiers stomped into the muck where they belong. Sir, if you have a moment, I've developed an initiative to improve morale amongst our fellow soldiers. As we both know, Havoc Squad is the finest military team ever assembled. Our triumphs prove to the public that victory is near. Unfortunately, as a team, even we can only accomplish so many victories in a given amount of time. Therefore, I would like to undertake additional assignments on my own time.
What kind of additional assignments?
I'd like to coordinate with Command and the SIS to find extra targets, Imperial personnel no one else could challenge, and neutralize them.
Are you sure these are targets you can handle on your own?
Absolutely, sir. My success is a mathematical and moral certainty. My calculations suggest the Republic's forces' morale would increase more than 18% for each impossible target I neutralize. Such incredible victories would demoralize the putrid citizens of the Empire as much as they would encourage our heroic comrades.
All right, 4X. We'll give it a shot.
I'll inform you as soon as I locate a suitable target, sir. Sir, I found our first potential target for the Morale Improvement Initiative. An Imperial propagandist known as the Ambassador. I've collected a sample of his lies for your review.
Friends, the Ambassador would have you know that you needn't live in fear. You needn't bow to men who are your inferiors. In the Empire, you can live a life of purpose and accomplishment, where only those most fit to rule guide our society. A life of greatness.
Surely no one's falling for tripe like this.
If it were not effective, even the fools in the Empire wouldn't bother with it. These spurious recordings are broadcast all over the galaxy, filling people with doubts about our noble cause. The Ambassador is the public face of our enemy. Removing him will boost Republic troops' morale and combat effectiveness.
As soon as you locate the ambassador, let me know.
You'll be the first person I notify, sir. Now we've had a breakthrough. The ambassador has been spotted. He's staying in a suite at the Star Cluster Casino on Nar Shaddaa. If I move quickly, I can take him before he's relocated.
Won't we cause problems if you assault Imperial personnel on Nar Shaddaa?
Only if I'm caught in the act, sir, and havoc never fails. For the Republic! Sir, I am pleased to report that the mission was a complete success. Though the ambassador had 15 armed guards in his casino suite, I managed to storm through them all, grab the lying fool, and leap out through the window.
Is the ambassador still in one piece after that?
Of course, sir. Having timed my assault perfectly, the ambassador and I landed on a passing Ugnaught salvage scow after a mere 130-meter fall. Once I had made my apologies to the proprietors of the scow, I turned my prisoner over to the SIS, and the toll of liberty rang out across the galaxy.
Excellent work, 4X.
Now that the ambassador's influence won't be spewing across the galaxy, I suspect we'll see a marked improvement in Republic morale. The only problem now will be selecting an even more impressive target. Been reviewing morale surveys and after-action combat effectiveness reports, and I have good news. For the period following the neutralization of the ambassador, statistics are up throughout the Republic's armed forces.
It's good to hear the plan is working.
I am concerned that we might see diminishing returns from future missions, unless our targets become even more impressive, though. Havoc Squad's new quarry will have to be someone truly savage, a merciless threat to all that's good and decent in the galaxy.
This is all your idea, 4X. Target selection is up to you.
Thank you very much, sir. I won't let you down. Sir, I'm wondering if you'd be kind enough to share what you know about Force users. I've only been programmed with a basic knowledge of Jedi and Sith capabilities. What do you think about them?
Jedi and Sith are capable of some pretty amazing things.
That's what my records indicate. I only ask because it is a commonly held belief that so-called ordinary soldiers are no match for Force users in combat. Clearly that belief is false, but it persists. I suggest that I target a notable Sith Lord and neutralize him publicly.
Sith are deadly, 4X. Let's not take them lightly.
Of course, sir. I'll let you know as soon as I find a suitable target. Sir, I've discovered the perfect target for our next operation. Lord Kavos. Kavos is a marauding Sith Lord, responsible for countless deaths. Exactly the type of dangerous scum we're uniquely qualified to eliminate.
Give me the full brief, 4X.
With pleasure, sir. Lord Kavos single-handedly destroyed a Republic outpost on Brental 4, massacring its personnel. He fought and killed 2 Jedi Knights simultaneously. According to intelligence reports, this butcher is becoming a hero to the Empire's ravening masses. Neutralizing him will help our cause greatly.
What did they say about killing 2 Jedi Knights?
Aisho and Nil, 2 renowned Jedi with years of combat experience. Lord Kavos cut them down without suffering a single injury. I can't tell you how much I'm looking forward to facing this threat head-on, sir. I'm going to begin my search right away. Success, sir. Lord Kavos has foolishly given away his position.
To all who excel in the arts of death, be it known that Lord Kavos, Master of Combat, seeks a lieutenant to serve him. I seek a worthy right hand to carry out my commands across the galaxy, and profit immensely. Those who think themselves suited should present themselves at the coordinates included in this message. Come prepared.
Kavos had to know this would be intercepted. He isn't afraid of anything, is he?
Don't worry, sir. He'll learn to fear the justice of the Republic soon enough. The coordinates are on Tatooine, sir. I recommend we move quickly, before Kavos can find a suitable lieutenant and move on. For the Republic! Target neutralized, sir. Lord Kavos will threaten the innocent people of the galaxy no longer. As expected, his overconfidence made his defeat all but certain. I simply took my place among the scum, hoping to gain his favor, then struck at the first opportunity.
I bet that got you closer than you would have otherwise.
Precisely, sir. Lord Kavos decided that a fight to the death would determine his champion, every man for himself. Once the fighting began, I closed in. I started by grabbing a Nikto thug who was making liberal use of a flamethrower. With pinpoint accuracy, I hurled him toward Kavos, whose robes were instantly ignited.
I wish I could have seen the look on Kavos' face.
I would estimate that he was surprised, sir. Although Kavos was thoroughly distracted, I remained cautious and did not engage him directly. Instead, I targeted a nearby Mandalorian using a jetpack. As soon as his velocity and flight vector were pointed correctly, I opened fire with my cannons, sending him barreling into Kavos and the Nikto. The explosion did the rest.
Was anybody left standing when you were done?
Negative. All surviving applicants were listed as persons of interest to the SIS, so I elected to remain and subdue them all. This was a critical victory. Our comrades are sure to take heart when they hear that a monster like Kavos has been laid low. I'll begin searching for a new target at once. I have excellent news, sir. Given the rigorous nature of Havoc Squad's missions, my power core has seen extensive use, and its capabilities have increased as a result. I now have access to far greater energy reserves, significantly improving the quality of my service to the Republic.
Have you reached the power core's maximum output?
Not yet, sadly, but someday. Please, sir, if I may make a request, let's engage in combat as soon as possible. I'm eager to put my new capabilities to the test. Sir, if I may ask, I was wondering about your opinion. Sir, if I may ask, I was wondering about your opinion on Imperial superweapons. Devices that can devastate entire fleets or worlds in a single strike. I find them intriguing.
No one should have weapons that powerful.
That is a popular viewpoint, but I cannot understand it. Surely such devices could see worthwhile use in the defense of freedom. Given these weapons' capabilities, I've been researching Imperial weapon designers to find a worthy target for Havoc Squad. One name stands out above all others: Colonel Rebus, the head of one of the Empire's top weapons research programs.
A brainy colonel sitting in a lab someplace? Easy pickings.
Based on the intelligence I've collected, this operation will fall well within our squad's acceptable survival probability of 4,790 to 1. I have located no personal information on Colonel Rebus, not even a physical description. Over the past 2 weeks, however, mentions of his name on Imperial comm channels have increased in frequency by 15.2%. This suggests a project nearing completion.
No time to lose then. Where is he?
The location of Colonel Rebus's research lab is one of the most closely guarded secrets in the Empire. No information is available as yet. As soon as I learn more, I'll inform you right away. I found information on weapons projects that Colonel Rebus was involved in. Would you like to hear about them?
Go ahead, Forex. I've got a few minutes.
Most recently, Colonel Rebus was involved in the Gauntlet superweapon that we so skillfully destroyed. He's had a hand in many other projects over the past 18 years. The Blight Matrix, the Galactophage, subjugation droids, even the Plasm resource. Supposedly, he even designed a device that could permanently block hyperlanes, though the project was scrapped due to power limitations.
Rebus sounds like an experienced mass murderer.
It's unlikely that anyone in the galaxy has more experience in this field than Rebus. Once his new project enters the testing phase, we will stand a much better chance of locating Rebus himself. I will report to you as soon as I know more. Opportunity has arrived, sir. We've received intelligence reports that Colonel Rebus is about to test his latest project. A secret proving ground has been established on Hoth. Security will be extensive, but nothing compared to Rebus's usual protection.
How long do we have to move on this?
We have no intelligence on the length of the testing process. I believe it would be best to act as quickly as possible. Neutralizing Colonel Rebus will devastate the Empire's weapons programs. Even I cannot calculate the number of lives that this mission could save. By robbing our enemies of their most despicable weapons, we will rob them of victory, ensuring freedom for generations to come. It was a trap, sir. Colonel Rebus was even more devious than I had expected.
You mean it was all a setup?
All of the hints and clues that led me to Rebus were fabricated. It was all a scheme to capture my power core. As soon as I defeated the last of the Imperial security teams and confronted Rebus, he activated a specially built device that overloaded my primary energy controls. I was frozen.
How could Rebus neutralize your power core when he'd never even seen it?
I can't be sure, sir. Perhaps some documentation was made during my time as an unwilling accomplice to the Havoc traitors. As Rebus and his final few guards approached, I discovered that I still had control over a handful of secondary subsystems. By manipulating those systems, I was able to trigger a full emergency shutdown and a rear servo lock, violently propelling me forward just as Rebus came to face me.
You actually escaped by collapsing on the guy?
It was a desperate ploy, but it was successful. As I'd hoped, shutting down my power core caused Rebus's device to shut down as well. All systems were restored within 96 seconds. Rebus's surviving guards were still attempting to lift me off of him at the time, so I dealt with them and carried the colonel back to base. Mission accomplished.
Was Rebus injured when you fell on him?
Yes, but luckily, Republic medical technology is the best in the galaxy. I was assured that he has a non-zero chance of speaking and walking again. With Rebus in custody, the entire galaxy is a safer place. It will be some time before I can locate an even more impressive target. As soon as I do, you'll be the first to know. Sir, I cannot describe how proud I am of Havoc Squad's accomplishments. By all measurable statistics, we've had a real and significant effect on the Republic's success in the war against the Empire. You are an unparalleled leader, a warrior without equal. As long as I continue to function, I will proudly serve at your side.
I'll always be glad to take down imps with you.
As will I, sir. Someday soon, the Republic will march to victory atop the burnt husk of the Empire, with Havoc Squad leading the charge.
This is just too good. I get slick equipment, a nice ride, and a ready supply of every explosive there ever was. I think this will do, boss.
Does this mean you can actually follow orders once in a while?
Stranger things have happened. Trust me. You keep me happy, I'll keep you happy. Now let's go put some of this fancy equipment to use. All right, boss. Time to talk some business. Bunch of credits just came through from a weapons deal I had going on Balmora. Another weapons deal I had going back on Balmora. This is your cut.
How many schemes do you have going, Vic?
They're not schemes. They're opportunities. And not just for me. You're the new boss. You get a cut no matter what. Let me tell you, boss, this is not where I figured I'd end up when I enlisted. Growing up on Nar Shaddaa, you only joined the army for the free ticket out of there.
You enlisted so you could leave Nar Shaddaa?
You better believe it. Before the army, I ran with whatever gang had the loosest boss and the most spare detonite. Had a long list of enemies. Even street trash take it bad when you blow up their buddies.
Do you ever wish you could go home again?
I've been back to that slime hole plenty of times. The heat's more than died down now. Joining up turned out to be the best idea I ever had. A lot more fun than running with those scrubs back on the streets, most of the time.
What's not to like?
Lot of rules. Can't just beat down the people who come to enforce them. Have to play nice, or smart. Enough reminiscing. Let's go trash something, huh? Hey, come here. This is going to be hilarious. Remember the credits I brought in from that old weapons sale? Those were from my second buyer. The first guy I lined up wasn't offering as much as I liked, so I bailed on him. Cheap jerk is all worked up that I sold him to someone else. He's trying to put a scare in me.
How can I help exactly?
Just play along. Guy's name is Red Hand Magarin. He runs a few guns. Thinks he's a real tough guy. Hey there, Red.
My guns, Vic. Where are they?
Well, I was having a chat with my new boss, the commander of Havoc Squad, and we decided to go with another buyer.
If that's the commander of Havoc Squad, I'm the king of Alderaan. I want those guns, Vic.
I assure you, I'm Havoc Squad CO.
I hope Vic's paying you good to get on my nerves. When you back out on a deal with me, there are consequences, Vic. I'll be seeing you.
Uh-oh, consequences. I hope I don't lose any sleep.
I can't believe he thought we'd be scared of him.
No joke. I'm glad we didn't do business with him. We'd look stupid. Come on. Let's find something else to do. So, turns out Red Hand Magarin isn't just an idiot with a chip on his shoulder about that weapons deal I bailed on. He's also an idiot with a lot of bounty hunters on call. He's put a price on my head. I need to take care of it.
How is this a surprise for you, Vic?
What can I say? I knew the guy was dumb, but I didn't think he was dumb enough to try this. Magarin's office is on Nar Shaddaa. I still know a few people there who don't want me dead, so this shouldn't take long. Once Magarin's settled, we'll be good to go again.
The faster this is dealt with, the better.
Couldn't agree more. Be back later. Hey boss, everything's cleared up. No more price on my head. Well, no one to pay it anyway.
How exactly did you clear all of this up?
We hugged and made up. What do you think I did? I found some of Magarin's files while I was picking through the wreckage afterward. Figured they might come in handy. I'll let you know if I spot anything interesting. I've been looking over the customer files from Magarin's office. The guy really didn't know how to run an outfit. When you're selling guns, you always get the money up front. You only take installments from customers you can grab when they don't pay. Magarin had installment customers all over the galaxy, and, big surprise, a lot of them never paid off their bills. Amateur.
I'm surprised Magarin would hire people to go after you, but not his debtors.
He only wanted me dead, and hired killers come cheap these days. Good debt collectors are expensive. You actually have to trust them. There are credits to be made. People owed Magarin. I took him down, which means his stuff is my stuff now. Well, sorry, our stuff. Everyone who owed him owes me now. I'll look through the lists, find the big debts, and collect, and give you a reasonable cut. How's that sound?
We're special forces, not debt collectors.
Who says we can't be both? I have to tell you, boss, I'm impressed. I wasn't sure I'd like coming back to the Army, but it's worked out great, mostly thanks to you.
Stop. You're making me misty.
Yeah, very moving stuff. I've worked with a lot of people over the years. Stupid, greedy people I cut loose as soon as I could. But you, actually useful. Even taught me a thing or two in a fight. It's a nice change.
I enjoy working with you too, Vic.
I have to tell you, boss, I'm impressed. I wasn't sure I'd like coming back to the Army, but it's worked out great, mostly thanks to you.
I'm just lucky to have a good team.
Can't have a good crew without a good boss, sir. I've worked with a lot of people over the years. Stupid, greedy people I cut loose as soon as I could. But you, actually useful. Even taught me a thing or two in a fight. It's a nice change.
Being nice won't make me trust you, Vic.
You're no fool, boss. That's why I like you. Come on, let's get back to that war I keep hearing about. Found our first customer, boss. An Alderaanian noble named Albrecht. He was into Magarin for quite a few credits. Once I work out the final details, it's all ours.
Magarin's files didn't have everything we need?
Not gonna chance it. With Alderaan as torn up as it is, it's best to do some research first. I've got a good feeling about this, boss. I think this might just be the best plan I've ever been part of. Long as we're not kicked out of the military, we'll do pretty well for ourselves.
What got you kicked out before?
I don't remember half the list of charges. You know me. Like to keep busy. The last straw was a protection racket I ran while I was stationed on Talay. It was really fun while it lasted. The plan only worked for a few weeks before someone whined to the higher-ups. I was the ringleader, so I took most of the heat.
Not easy being in charge, is it?
Nope. Glad I don't have to deal with that nonsense anymore. I'll let you know when everything's lined up. Then I'll go pay the noble Lord Albrecht a visit. Everything's ready, boss. I've got Lord Albrecht's location on Alderaan and all of the files that prove the debt. I just have to walk in, show the files, act tough, and we can both become a little bit richer.
This goes against everything we stand for, Vic.
It doesn't go against anything I stand for. See you when I've got the credits. That was ridiculous. Turns out there's two Lord Albrechts. A father-son team. A crazy old man and stuck-up little punk team, really. Neither of them had a single credit, and both of them had promised to sell the guns to 3 different buyers apiece.
These guys really gave you a hard time, huh?
Tell me about it. If I wanted to work this hard for my money, I'd get a real job. It took a lot of wrangling, but I managed to get those 2 saps into the same room with all of their buyers. Then I lobbed a couple of grenades in. Most of the buyers' credits were still in one piece afterward, so I'm calling it a win.
You murdered 8 people just for some credits?
Nah, there were more than that. The buyers wouldn't show up without muscle after all. Let's hope the next rundown isn't so tough. The stress might ruin my looks. All right, boss, you got me. Working together like we've been doing, it's a gold mine. If you're up for making this a long-term arrangement, then count me in.
I'm retiring someday, Vic.
Retirement's expensive, boss. More reason to work together and get you a big pile of credits stashed somewhere. Not a mark in the galaxy that can handle both of us, boss. Let's get out there and make some credits.
I feel exactly the same way. You're not with the Gand now, Ewan. Call yourself whatever you want. I can spare a few minutes? Sure. How does being a findsman work exactly? Is it hard being so far from home? Being the only Gand around can't have been fun. Did the enlistment officers know what to do with you? I'm sorry. I don't know what Xavier Juna means. You have to hunt down the best hunter around? I hope you find what you're looking for. It's great to hear that things went well, Yoon. You're a good friend and a good comrade, Yoon.